Hey guys, it's Melanie. I am watching the time so I don't get very long-winded as I generally tend to do. So action. Like, what kind of action are you taking? Well, I mean, like, isn't action like moving forward with something? Yeah. There's more than one type of action. And the other day, someone suggested a podcast to me, and I was like, all right, cool, I'll listen to this. And as I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh yeah, I was stuck in that action place before. So massive action is like how you actually move forward with things. You know, it's making your goal your duty, like your obligation, your responsibility, whatever that goal is. You know, like, I mean, do you have goals? I hope you do. Right? Even if it's just like getting the closet cleaned out, whatever that is. Taking massive action means getting that done. It means that you're moving forward with it until you get the results you want. And generally, it's not a one and done deal, right? It's not like you take a little bit of action, then you're like, done, I'm cool, I'm done. So the two types of action that I'm talking about are passive action and massive action. And if you've ever listened to Tony Robbins, you hear him talk about taking massive action all the time. If you haven't listened to him, go listen to him. This was not his podcast, it was someone else's. So passive action is kind of in that, you're not going to get results with passive action. I've been stuck in passive action because I thought maybe I needed to read one more book or listen to one more podcast or, you know, take one more course on this, that, or the other. And you're really not taking physical action towards what that end goal is. You're kind of thinking about taking action. You're stuck in that, what should I do? And maybe it's, I'll do it when I get here, or I'll do it when this is right, or I'll do it when the sun and the moon are aligned, or whatever. You're thinking about it, but you're not applying yourself, right? Maybe you're reading books, that's kind of applying yourself, but how is that getting you to that end goal of whatever it is, right? Because for me, I was like, I'm just going to read one more book on this. I'm going to read one more book on this. I'm going to read one more book on how to help people with gut health. And instead of taking the massive action and helping people with these things, or instead of taking the massive action and getting, you know, this under my belt or that done or whatever. So massive action is when you apply yourself. It's when you actually get past that passive stage of thinking when the sun, the moon, and the stars are all aligned, I can actually do this. Or when I get to this stage in my life, I can actually do this. Massive action is when you start to apply yourself and you do whatever it takes to move forward. You roll with the punches, you take on the obstacles, you know, you recalculate the GPS. Let me check my time here, okay? You recalculate the GPS if things don't go in the right direction instead of stopping, right? You're just like going through it all. You're just going through, you're focused on the end result no matter what happens. And no matter what, you know, whatever that end result for you is. Unfortunately, few people are actually willing to take that massive action because we get stuck in that passive action phase. We get stuck in that, maybe I'll do it. Oh, but I've been thinking about doing it, but it's hard. But what if I fail? But what if I make a mistake? That's why people don't take that massive action because they're afraid. They're afraid. And our bodies, our minds, our humans that we protect ourselves from that. We protect ourselves from things that are a little bit scary. We like to stay in our comfort zone. So massive action is stepping outside that comfort zone. And here's what I say to you if you are afraid that you'll make a mistake or that you fail. You can only fail if you completely quit, right? And if you make a mistake, you go back to the drawing board, right? You make a mistake, you hit an obstacle driving, your GPS recalculates for you. So you go back and you recalculate things. And you learn. You learn from it. Sometimes it's not even about the end result. It's about who you become and what you learn along the way. And that is huge. Because you'll find out things about yourself that you never thought were possible, that you never thought you could accomplish, and that you never thought that you would think or do. So in life, you can have these two things, excuses or results. You can be stuck in passive action or you can take massive action. Both of them are hard, right? It's hard to make excuses. Man, sometimes it is very hard. And it's also hard to get results on certain things. They're both hard. But one of them has a bigger reward at the end of the rainbow. One of them actually has a rainbow and the other one doesn't. So you get to decide. You either can take massive action on something or you can just be very passive and sit back and think about doing it and then regret it. So my tip to you today is take massive action. Quit being passive. Take massive action. And if you fall down, pick your darn self up, dust yourself off, and freaking keep going. Because there's so much out there for you guys to do. There's so much life to be lived. And so many people are stuck in that comfort zone of passive action. And I don't want to live with regrets of, oh my God, I could have, should have, would have done that. Do it. Do it. You'll learn a lot. You will learn a lot on the way. So my challenge to you is to go take massive action on something you've been stewing about and hemming and hawing about doing for the past week or the past few months. Go out and go do it today and take massive action. That's all I have for you today, and we will chat later. Have a great day, guys.